Hello and welcome to Book Summarist. Have you ever heard a story or a message that stuck with you for years, while others faded away almost instantly? Maybe it was an urban legend, an inspiring speech, or even a simple advertising slogan. Why do some ideas last while others disappear? This is the mystery that Chip Heath and Dan Heath set out to solve in Made to Stick. They argue that the difference between forgettable and unforgettable messages isn't intelligence or complexity. It's about structure. The authors introduce 6 key principles that make an idea stick, principles that anyone can apply to become a more powerful communicator. But before we dive into these 6 principles, let's talk about the biggest problem that prevents ideas from sticking: the curse of knowledge. Imagine you're a drummer tapping out a song on a table. In your head, you can hear the melody perfectly, but to the listener, it's just random beats. This is what happens when we try to communicate ideas. We assume others understand things as clearly as we do, but they don't. Experts, teachers, marketers, leaders, and even everyday people fall into this trap. The key to making ideas stick is to overcome this curse and communicate in a way that truly connects with others. So how do we do that? The answer lies in SUCCESSES, an acronym for the 6 principles of sticky ideas: simplicity, unexpectedness, concreteness, credibility, emotion, and stories. Simplicity is about finding the core of the idea. Think about the most powerful messages in history. Just do it. Think different. I have a dream. They all have one thing in common. They are simple, yet profound. But simplicity isn't just about using fewer words. It's about finding the core of the idea. A great example is Southwest Airlines. Their entire business strategy revolves around one simple principle: we are the low-fare airline. If someone proposes adding fancy meals or luxury seating, it's immediately rejected, because it doesn't align with their core idea. Simplicity doesn't mean dumbing things down. It means distilling an idea to its most essential and memorable form. Think of it like a proverb: a bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush. This simple sentence contains deep wisdom, and that's why it has lasted for centuries. Unexpectedness is about capturing and holding attention. Imagine a high school teacher walks into class and, instead of starting a lecture, suddenly smashes a watermelon with a sledgehammer. The students are shocked. But then the teacher explains, "That's what happens to your brain in a car crash if you don't wear a seatbelt." Why does this work? Because it breaks expectations. Our brains are wired to notice surprises, which makes us pay attention. If an idea follows the same predictable pattern as everything else, people tune out. But when something violates expectations, our curiosity kicks in. One powerful technique is to create a mystery gap, a question that demands an answer. News headlines do this all the time. You'll never believe what this 90-year-old marathon runner eats for breakfast. The gap between what we know and what we want to know forces us to engage. The best communicators don't just grab attention. They keep it by maintaining a sense of suspense and intrigue. Concreteness is about making ideas real and tangible. Here's a test. Which of these statements is easier to remember? This is a high-performance lubricant. Or this is made from chicken fat. The second one sticks because it's concrete. Our brains latch onto things we can see, touch, and imagine. Abstract ideas don't last, but specific details do. Take John F. Kennedy's famous challenge: put a man on the moon and return him safely to Earth. That's concrete. It paints a clear picture. Imagine if he had instead said, "Let's enhance space exploration capabilities." No one would remember it. Concrete details help people grasp ideas quickly. Instead of saying, "We provide excellent customer service," a company could say, "If your pizza isn't hot when it arrives, we'll give you a free one." Suddenly, the idea becomes real. Credibility is about making people believe your idea. We tend to think credibility comes from experts, but that's not always true. In fact, specific details can be more persuasive than authority figures. Take the famous Subway story of Jared Fogle. Subway didn't just say their food was healthy. They showed how Jared lost 245 pounds by eating their sandwiches. That's more convincing than any health expert's opinion. Another technique is the testable credential. Have you ever seen a commercial where they say, "Try it for 30 days, and if you're not satisfied, you get your money back"? That's credibility in action. Instead of just making claims, they let people test the idea for themselves. Details, statistics, real-life examples, and testimonials all boost credibility and make an idea more believable. Emotion is about making people care. Imagine you're running a charity campaign to fight hunger. You could say, 3 million children go hungry every year. That's a big number. But will it move people? Probably not. Now, imagine instead that you tell the story of Sarah, a 7-year-old girl who goes to bed hungry every night. She doesn't know where her next meal will come from. She dreams about eating like other kids do. Suddenly, it's personal. People don't connect with statistics, they connect with people. Advertisers and politicians use this all the time. Instead of saying tax cuts help small businesses, they tell the story of Bob, the struggling shop owner who can now afford to hire another employee. Emotion makes an idea relatable. If you want to make people care, ask, how does this affect them? Why should they feel something? Appeal to emotions like fear, hope, joy, or anger. Those are the forces that drive action. Stories make ideas stick through narratives. Imagine you're trying to teach a child about honesty. You could give them a rule. Always tell the truth. But will they remember it? Maybe. Now, tell them the story of the boy who cried wolf. Suddenly, the lesson sticks. Stories work because they engage both the rational and emotional parts of our brain. They don't just tell us what to believe. They let us experience it. The best ideas are embedded in stories that people want to share. Take the famous kidney heist urban legend. A guy wakes up in a bathtub full of ice, missing a kidney. It's shocking, visual, and memorable. That's why it spreads. If you want your idea to stick, wrap it in a story. Make it easy to retell, and it will spread naturally. At the end of the day, sticky ideas follow a pattern. They are simple, find the core message. Unexpected, surprise people. Concrete, use vivid real-life examples. Credible, give people reasons to believe. Emotional, make them care. And story-driven, inspire action through narratives. So next time you want an idea to stick, ask yourself, does it follow the success's formula? If it does, it won't just be remembered. It will be shared, repeated, and acted upon. And that's how ideas stick. If you liked this summary, consider subscribing to our channel. Your support gives us the motivation to keep creating more engaging content.